So recently Raynday released a new video about Skye, where he was talking about her place in the meta, which is in the grave, obviously. He also was talking about her weaknesses, and while there is some truth in what he said, I gotta disagree. Also, it gives me an opportunity to put his name in the title to get more views, so here we are. In short, Raynday said that Skye has no place in the meta because she doesn't have vertical mobility as well as, mobility skill in first place. If she attacks someone and takes one player down, she goes down right after that, because she has no way to escape from the rest of the enemies. Other flankers have blinks, dashes, jumps, reflex and so on. And Skye doesn't, which makes her a terrible flanker. That's where I agree with Raynday. However, since I'm a self-centered prick that can only validate my own opinion and all the rest of opinions are incorrect, I'll give you my vision on Skye and how Iris can fix her. And my opinion is this: Skye's main weakness is not a lack of vertical or any other mobility. Her main problem is the smoke screen. Let me explain. The way that this ability works right now is this. You throw a smoke bomb and while you stand inside that smoke radius, you are invisible. Same works with your teammates. While they stand inside of it, they are invisible. However, if you stand inside the smoke and you take some action, such as shooting or using an ability, you suddenly become visible. How the hell is that supposed to work? How is this even balanced? Who in Harry's team thought that making a smoke bomb work like a bush in this game is a great idea? If this one effect would be reworked and you could successfully hide inside the smoke and shoot without being visible, this ability would already be strong. It would already give a huge advantage not only to Skye herself, but also to her entire team. Just think about it. Right now, if you see a smoke bomb lying around, you just know that Skye is probably somewhere nearby and she used her smoke just to trigger her invisibility effect. You are almost 100% sure that nobody is hiding inside of it. But if it would be the way that I propose it to be, then every time you see a smoke bomb lying around, you would think twice before not only approaching it, but even peeking on it. Because, maybe Skye is there inside and as soon as you approach it, you're gonna be burned down. Or maybe there is a Kinessa hiding and while she can see you and you can see her, she has plenty of time to give you a nice headshot. Or maybe the entire enemy team is hiding there. If Iris would make a smoke work this way, it would already give Skye players a lot of room to play mind games. Just imagine all the bullshit ambushes and tactics of covering your damage champions with a smoke bomb, or throwing a smoke to scare enemies away from it and lead them to the place that you want them to go. There could be a lot of potential in that ability, but we aren't stopping here because smoke screen is also broken in another way. Of course, I'm talking about the fact that it doesn't work like a smoke bomb in any other game. Like in every other first-person shooter, the main purpose of smoke bomb is to close the enemy's line of sight. In Paladins, however, the only way you will close someone's line of sight with it is if you throw it directly at the enemy. Only then he won't see anything. But as a Skye, you can't actually force them to stand inside of it. So this effect is almost useless. I wanted to close the line of sight like a normal smoke would. If I throw smoke in between of me and my enemy, and none of us is standing in the smoke, I still want that smoke to hide me. That's all. If they wanna make one small change to make Skye viable, this is it. Just let smoke be smoke. But it's not the only problem that Skye has. I've been experimenting with Skye's loadouts and playstyles quite a lot. And I've noticed one more thing. As Raynday said, and as every experienced player knows, Skye is a bad flanker because once she flanks, she has no way to escape and she has to trade her death for killing someone. So most players think that way. If you give her ability to escape, she will become a good flanker. But not me, I'm a special snowflake with an inflated ego, so I think that instead of forcing Skye into doing something that she clearly doesn't excel at, which is flanking, Iris should encourage Skye players to do what she's already kinda good at. Or at least can be if they change things a little bit. Now you are probably confused and screaming, what the fuck am I talking about? What I mean with it is that they gotta change your class from flank to either damage or support. Let's just make it clear with the damage part. she's already pretty good at shredding tanks. More than that, she was originally designed to shred tanks in first place. Her right click burns high HP targets better than Muslims burn Israeli flags. The problem with shredding tanks, however, is that Skye's weapon has, or at least had, very small range. It has a huge fall-off, and Hi-Rez actually buffed Skye in that department in last patch, so who knows? Maybe instead of trying to make Skye play like a spy from TF2 and force her to come close to enemies, she will be more of a Raynday from Dirty Bomb. I also said that Skye has a potential to be a support, so what the fuck do I mean? Skye has cards that allow her to heal herself with the smoke bomb. But what if, you know, crazy idea, but what if she could also heal teammates with it? I'm not even saying to give it a huge healing like Maldamba or Ceres, but if it's gonna be a reasonable amount, it's gonna be fine, and believe it or not, but Skye actually is pretty good at supporting teammates. What supports do besides the healing? They deal with flankers, and Skye has two abilities that actually allow her to ambush flankers. If Skye gets a drop on you, you have a very high chances of going down, or at least failing your flank and to be forced to retreat. Skye can be very good in this role. Also, last thing I wanted to say about Skye is that most heroes have like two base mechanics. Just think about it. Drogos flies and blows shit up. Kinessa snipes and slows with your mines. Pip, weird jumps and AoE damage. That's the core of their gameplay. But when we look at Skye, we can see, well, let's count together. Invisibility, that in other games a character can be fully designed around this ability, like Phantom in Dirty Bomb. Smokescreen, that again, some characters in other games are fully designed around it, like a Raynday in Dirty Bomb. Also Skye has a poison. And if we take a look at the other Hi-Rez game, Smite, you can see a character, Serket, that is fully designed around poison mechanics. It feels like they stuffed way too many mechanics in one character and now they just don't know how to balance it. I really hope that Hi-Rez will find a better way to balance this character rather than simply letting her climb walls or something. Because then she will have even more mechanics and she's just gonna make even more mess. They gotta make up their minds and decide what they want her to do and in which role she's supposed to be. And then just buff these abilities and remove all the unnecessary effects for that character.